On the graduation day, I went into the hall.
She looked so good.
Yeah, like you did that makeup, girl. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Noella, and if you're new to this channel, I help current and aspiring college students like you figure out what this college thing is all about. In today's video, I'm here with my friend Magaretha, also known as Maggie, who is going to be sharing with you her college journey. So Maggie, would you introduce yourself to us?
Sure. My name is Magaretha, also known as Maggie, like Emanuela said. I'm also a video content creator. I have my own YouTube channel, and if you want to check that out, it is at The Maggie in Your Stew. Don't forget the before the Maggie in Your Stew, the Maggie in Your Stew. And that's also my Instagram.
So Maggie, can you give us a background of your academic journey?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Nigeria. I lived in Nigeria for 15 years, so my schooling, primary school, secondary school, everything was in Nigeria. I finished senior secondary school, graduated at 15, but I didn't do JAM or NECO, if you know what that is, shout out to you. I didn't do any of that because I knew I was coming here. So I moved here, and then I was put back to high school because they said I was too young to go to college, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So I went to high school, in English high school. I met a couple of other Nigerians, met her, and a lot of other cool people. So I went there for 3 years, you know, started as a sophomore, junior, senior, and then graduated in 2017, and then applied to Massachusetts College of Pharmacy to study pharmacy. Before that, I did like dual enrollment at North Shore Community College. I was taking college classes as well as going to high school. And it was really nice because I was able to acquire credits
So
before going to college.
Did those credits transfer?
Yes.
Oh,
They
great.
did. Yep. Because they were mostly prerequisites courses and like elective courses. So I took like macroeconomics and microeconomics. I took speech. I took medical ethics. I took composition 1 and 2. So those transferred. I think the only one that didn't transfer was medical ethics because it was a science course. And MCPHS wasn't taking any science courses, but the rest of them transferred, which was great because I didn't have to take those classes when my friends were taking them, which was really nice. And I could just show off and be like, oh, I already took that, you know. And it was free too. That was the cool part. It was free. I didn't have to pay for it because that was the thing North Shore was doing.
Yeah.
I forget. I think the requirement was you just have to be a high school student, which was really, really dope. The only thing I paid for was the books, obviously. And the books were really cheap, like very affordable. I think it was composition or speech. So the book was like $6. So it was really, really nice.
And sometimes they have it on reserve in the library.
Yep, and you could just go borrow it and then return it.
I would say your high school journey is kind of similar to mine because when I came, I started as a freshman. I think the same day they moved me
to sophomore.
to sophomore, so I had to
change classes.
Yeah, I had to change classes. Like I was glad that they did that because that would have been an extra year. I was already depressed going back 4 years.
I know. I mean, at the time, personally for me, I was like, no, I want to go to college, blah, blah, blah. But as time went on, you know, you start to see the reason for things and why things happen the way they do. Nothing is a coincidence. Like, it happened the way it's supposed to happen. And the fact that I went back 3 years, I don't even think I would have been mature enough to go to college at that time. You know what I mean? And she graduated in 2016. I graduated in 2017. So it was a year difference.
So would you say that going to high school actually prepared you for the American college? Because it's different from Nigeria, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely very, very, very different. Difference in the sense that the workload is very different. In Nigeria, I remember when it came to like finals week or whatever, you were doing like 5 exams a day or 4 exams a day. So you had to study for all of that. However way you want to study for it, that's your business. You're doing the exam.
Feet in cold water and you sit up with a candlelight and you study because you might not have light.
Yeah, you might not have light, which is true. You might be fortunate enough to have a generator in your house. Yeah. So then your dad will probably turn on the generator for you to study, but that's barely because sometimes fuel is scarce. So your parents are not, they cannot find fuel, so they cannot buy gas. So you're on your own. Moving from class to class, I found that very different. Because the bell would ring, you would run to your classes, and you better not be late. Yeah. But in Nigeria, the teachers come to you. Yeah. The teachers come to you once the bell rings. They're out the door. but there were some annoying teachers that would stay even after.
You'll be like, it's your break time. Well, it's break time. And they're like,
they
one
won't
more
leave.
thing.
Like, they keep talking. Like, your time is over, sir. You need to go. In regards to preparing me for college, it definitely did by a lot, because I feel like I was still trying to adapt with like weather, people, you know,
language, the
accent, you know, all of that stuff. Like, I was trying to adapt. And if I had taken all of that into college,
oh no, that would have been a mess.
That would have been a mess. I mean, maybe not a mess, but it probably would have been more difficult.
Yeah.
Plus, I learned a lot of like studying skills in high school, especially taking college classes and going to high school. So there was a balance.
I'm a very big advocate for community colleges. In most of my videos, you see me talking about community college and how they save you money, and especially if you do not know your major, you can just go there and take classes and figure things out, rather than just going from high school to a private college,
4-year university,
which is pretty expensive. So you didn't actually go to a community college, you just took classes there, like let's say for a semester,
for like 2 semesters, because I think I started my junior year in high school.
So pretty much you qualify as a community college
student. Yeah, I guess like, you could. Yeah,
I guess you could say that. Do you have any stereotypes or stigma about community colleges?
The only stigma I would say or talk about is if you're not driven to accomplish your goals, especially if you don't really know what you want to do yet. Once you get that associate's degree, you might call it a day and be like, okay, well, I have this associate's degree, I'm done. You know what I mean? Unless you're like driven and you know what you want, like this is my goal, this is where I'm going to, this is what I'm striving to get. Aside from that, then, you know, you will keep pushing on and you transfer to go to a 4-year college, but then you'll be doing 2 years, I think.
Well, that's true, because right now in my class, there's this girl. She graduated this year actually, but she doesn't want to go to a 4-year college. She's actually taking a year off, and that's what most people do when they take a year off. It's usually hard to go back and start. Like, unlike me, as soon as I was done with the 2 years, I was out.
But that's because you know where you're going. You already have a timeline or a plan for yourself. You know what I mean? So you're like, okay, I'm going to get this degree, transfer, do this, knock this out, and boom. If I'm going into a community college, I don't know what I want to do, and I'm just taking classes. Once I acquire the credits that I need to graduate and I graduate, that's it. Because I feel like community college makes you very comfortable in the sense that when you're working and going to school and you're living at home, or everything is convenient, you know. So me personally, I like doing things that challenge me. So if you're in a place where, you know, everything is just coming to you, I feel like you won't really want to do better and do more, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's the only stigma I feel like I have with community colleges.
So is it the problem of the community college, or it's the problem of the students?
I won't really say it's the problem of the community college, because the community college is just trying to help you save money, you know. They are trying to make things easier for you.
Because a lot of non-traditional students attend community colleges, and that's what we're saying. So, people that have been out of school for a long time, that's like a good place to start for them before moving on to get their bachelor's. So definitely there's so many benefits. Like I say, I'm a hardcore supporter of community colleges. I
mean, I don't not support it. Like, I support it. Their goal and purpose is very, very helpful to a lot of people, especially like international students and immigrants and all that stuff. Like, it's very, very important. And I even know that my mom, like, went to a community college. Like, she didn't go to school for the longest time, especially when she was trying to bring her family here. Like, she was out of school for the longest time, but she was able to go back because of the way it's easy to get in and it's convenient and she can work. You know, all the things that might be cons still help, you know, and are still the pros.
I feel like it's just on the individual.
Definitely.
Like, if you know your goal, your purpose, what you want to do, you're not going to spend more than 2 years in a community college. I see people that just take one class, two class, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
I mean,
what are you doing?
You can't really blame them if they have like 3 kids and a job.
No, this is not even mothers or people that work full-time 40, 80-hour jobs. These are like teenagers like me.
You. Yeah, what are you doing?
Like, they're just taking 1 or 2 courses, and I'm like, seriously? Do you want to like spend the rest of your life
out of community college?
Yeah, so definitely depends on the individual. So I know a lot of people actually have cars at school because it's an easy way to commute to like jobs, interviews.
Yeah.
But there's also so much traffic in Boston, and then the parking is expensive. So can you shed light on that? Like, do you have a car on campus, and how do you manage that?
Okay, so first year I didn't have a car on campus because I lived on campus, so I didn't really need one. But second year I brought my car on campus, and parking was hard. But then I was able to find street parking, and that's what happens when you have a car. You begin to look for ways to alternative ways. At first I was gonna like park my car in the school parking lot, in the garage. But if you know MCPHS, you know MCPHS doesn't have a garage. They only have a garage for staff, and they don't have it because it's in the city. They barely even have space for classes and anything like that. But they don't have a garage. So when they collaborated with Emmanuel College to have the apartments, then I was like, okay, maybe I can park my car in their garage, because I'm a student there now.
It's like colleges of the Fenway, so we all like
connect. So I was like, yeah, I'll park my car at the garage. So like the first week, I was just driving in and out of the garage, just living my bougie life in school. And then I came to my car one day and I saw a thing. It wasn't a ticket, but it was like a notice. You need to move your car and stop parking your car here because students cannot park here. And I was like,
oh my goodness.
Why so disrespectful? So they were really serious about that. Like I talked to the campus safety and all that stuff. They were like, nope, you cannot park your car there. So I was like, all right then. I went to the street parking, and then I found a street that I always parked my car at, and I would go to work. But the only thing there is I had to walk like 10 minutes to where my car was, and then drive to work, or I mainly just drove to work, and if I wanted to get groceries. But in regards to bills, I didn't really have to pay for parking because I just did free street parking.
But then, what about when it comes to street cleaning and they have to clear the snow and all those things? Where do you move your car to?
I didn't have that problem.
Oh.
God is good.
All the time?
I didn't have that problem because where I was, they didn't need to do street cleaning. It was automatically clean. I was good. So come snow, come sunshine, come rain, my car was there. It had its own spot. So it was good.
So can you shed light upon the culture and environment of MCPHS?
In regards to students, there is a lot of diversity. Like you see a lot of Korean people, a lot of Asian people, a lot of Black people, African Americans, Haitians, Nigerians, Cameroonians, white people. You see everybody there. But in regards to staff, it's really like a small box. It's mainly white people, but then you have a few Asians. There are a lot of females as well as males, but you don't really find a lot of Black people. So we need to do better. If you're watching this, you want to be a teacher, apply. Don't let that stop you though. Don't let that stop you.
Pharmacy is actually a hard major, and it's a 6-year program, but you will be graduating with your doctorate in pharmacy. So pretty much you just skipped associate, bachelor's, master's. It's doctorate. So it's like a whole 6-year. So how difficult is that, and how do you balance everything?
I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything at all. It's difficult. It's difficult. It's very, very, very hard. It's hard. Like I said, if you don't have a motivation, if you don't have a plan for yourself, if you just want to waste time, it's not the place for you. You have to have that passion in you to want to actually get to that goal. Like one thing that keeps me going is just walking across that stage and getting my degree. And that's what keeps me going. Like, think about yourself walking across that stage. Because it's not easy to balance out work, school, family life. You have to study. You know what they said? How like one course you have to spend 2 hours, 3 hours studying one course. Mind you, I have 6 or 5, and I have to work what 6 hours a day. You want me to now spend 2 hours for one course? So that's how many? 2 times 5. Somebody help. 20 hours.
No, 2 times 5.
2 times 5, 10. You see, why am I in pharmacy school? Just throw me away. Anyway, you have to know how to balance. You have to know what's important. You have to know what's priority. Even in studying, if you know there are things you don't need to study, there's no need wasting your time on it.
Skip it.
Skip it. Go to the things that are important. Things that you know will weigh more points when they ask, things like that. And it's very hard because sometimes you fail a course and you have to take it again. And it's very frustrating knowing that you have to pay more and you have to do this again. Sometimes you have to take a class 2 times, my sister. Or you have to take it 3 times.
Oh.
I failed first year. I failed chemistry.
Orgo chem or regular chem?
Regular chem. I failed chemistry 1 the first time I took it. And I had to take it again, and then I passed it. But I took it with a different professor. So, you have to know the things that work for you. If you do something over and over again and it's not working, try something else. Switch it up. It's hard, but you have to be strategic about it. If you don't need to hang with your friends, if they don't understand that you don't need to hang with them because you need to study, then they're not your real friends.
They should study with you.
Study with you. If they don't want to study, wish them good luck. Go and study. No, for real though. I mean, it might be easier said than done, but it's hard.
No, college is hard.
It's hard. It's very difficult. And 6 years might seem like a long time, but it goes by quick.
So you said that you work 6 hours a week.
Not a week. Some days I work like probably 3 days a week or 4 days a week, and like some weekends.
Right.
I made a list of my bills, made a list of how many hours I need to work to pay the bills, and then have change. So I had to come up with those hours to cover up for that.
Yeah, that's budgeting.
Yeah,
guys, you need
and
budget.
If I'm not like on top of that, so I can't be calling out sick because that interferes with my bills. So I had to show up to work even when I felt
it's
down,
snowed.
unless
7 feet.
unless there was a very important exam coming up, and then I'd be like, yo, I can't, and that's that.
Cool. What are the tips that you can give current or aspiring college students who are thinking about actually going into your field or just going into college in general?
Regardless of where you're going, regardless of your major, regardless of your bank account, regardless of who you're around and people you come across, regardless of anything, nonetheless, this is for you. You have to understand that you're not doing it for anybody else. Don't mind the people that are putting captions when they graduate. This was for you, mama. This was for you, sir. This, that. I respect y'all, but you're doing it for yourself.
You're going to be eating the money. You're going to be paying the loans 6 months after you
Think
graduate.
about it. You're not in pharmacy school because my mom is a pharmacist. So you should make it go. It's your name, oh. It's your name.
Name that degree.
It's your name. So you have to understand that you're doing it for yourself. And I'm listening. As I'm talking like this, I'm listening to myself. You're doing it for yourself in the sense that if you don't want to do it, if you feel like, okay, you've put your leg inside this and it's not for you, back out real quick. Like, go try something else that actually makes you happy. When I accepted MCP, I wasn't 100% sure that pharmacy is what I want to do, I had a high interest in it, but I had to try other things. Like I started working in the pharmacy and I started making friends with pharmacists, talking to pharmacists. Okay, how is this like? How much do you make? Are you able to actually pay your bills? Like how much are you actually getting after taxes are taken out? You have to like inquire about these things to see if it's something you as a person can do. And if you like to shop a lot and all that things, you have to consider everything, because say you're paying $2,000 as a pharmacist to your loans, you still have your car insurance, you still have your apartment if you don't have a house yet, and if you have a house yet, you still have that mortgage that you want to pay off. That's not plus, let's say I'm going out to brunch with my friends, that's not plus, you have to take all these things into consideration. And even if you're just doing like nursing or anything like that, you have to make sure it interests you. At least it just, you might not be passionate about it at that point in time, but you should have that love for it, and just don't go in there and be like, yeah, I just want to make money.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's your passion for it that's gonna keep you going.
Yes,
like
it is.
Because
it's not the money.
You would meet obstacles, mountains that you have to climb, but you have to keep persevering because you know what you want. You know, I came to college to get this degree. I'm gonna get it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
How about that?
No. So thank you so much, Maggie, for
coming on here and being on your channel and taking it over it like it's my channel, because
you know.
But yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. Pleasure.
Awesome. Thanks for watching. See you next time.